Hello, fourth graders. Wow, I'm so excited. I think you probably finished the book. And we're going to do our last little packet review, and we will be finished with The Tiger Rising. I'm upset that we didn't get to go over this and discuss this together, because I think it's a great time to talk about feelings and emotions and how it's great to talk to people about those things. But I hope you've enjoyed it being at home with your parents, and hopefully some of you, if you've had questions or things that you wanted to talk about, you can talk to your parents or maybe older siblings or somebody that you can talk to. So we're going to go ahead and get busy. Last time I left you with that question before you read the last two chapters: what would the perfect ending to the novel be? I don't know what you thought your perfect ending would be, or if it ended the way you wanted it to. We're going to go ahead and look at the questions for that last section, chapters 29 and 30. Number 1, what contribution did Sistine make to the funeral ceremony for the tiger? And do you think this was appropriate? Explain your answer. Now, I know that 2 of the pods read the chapter book Love That Dog, and it was all about poetry when we were doing our poetry unit. And we had already seen that poem by William Blake, Tiger, Tiger. So you'll know a little bit more, but did you think that was something appropriate to do? And just explain why or why not. Number 2, do you think it was appropriate that Willie Mae gave the carving of the bird to the tiger in its burial, seeing that Rob had given this to her as a gift? Now, once again, that's your opinion. You know, kind of sad that she gave it away. Rob probably took a lot of time making that for her, but do you think that was an appropriate thing for her to do? Number 3, Sistine apologizes to Rob on 2 occasions in chapter 29. What were the 2 things that she apologized for? She felt like it was her fault, I think, because he finally decided to let the tiger go because she was the one who pushed him to do that. So she did apologize for that. And then she had a little bit of a blow-up with him, if you'll remember. So she kind of apologized for the way she talked to him. And everybody has to do that at some point. I, this year, actually had to apologize to somebody at school for my actions and the way I spoke, because I was in a bad mood. So, you know, you kind of have to get your emotions out, and that kind of will put a place in your heart and make you feel sad until you kind of get that off your heart and say you're sorry. So those were the 2 things that she apologized for, making him release the tiger and the cruel things that she had said to him. Number 4, what was Rob's dad going to make Rob do to make him face his consequences of face the consequences of his actions, and what consequence might Rob's dad still face? Well, when everything was said and done and they were back at home talking, Rob's dad told him that he was going to have to fess up and tell Beauchamp what he had done, but that also his dad might lose his job because of that. So they both kind of had a consequence that they were looking for what was going to happen. Number 5, why do you think it was so necessary for Rob to hear his mother's name? I just think that when he heard his mother's name come out, it kind of released his feelings. It was just a way of expressing and remembering her. It is hard to talk about people that we missed. I've lost plenty of people in my life, but I just lost a dog not too long ago. He was 13 years old, or he was like a week away from being 13. And like when I hear his name, Hank, I just kind of takes my breath away, and I get a little all those tears in my eyes. I try to kind of fight it back. But we all have those feelings, and when it's a person, I know animals are special, but when it's a person, especially someone as close as your mom or your dad, even just hearing the name brings memories. Number 6, the climax of the story occurs when the main problem of the story is solved. When does the climax of the novel occur? Now, I don't know if we've talked about a climax in our stories before, but a climax is when you finally reach that point, when you've been anticipating. We talked about a cliffhanger. The last few chapters that we've been reading have been kind of cliffhangers until we got to the very end. But the climax of the story is the high point, the exciting point that we've all been waiting for. It's like a roller coaster. The story starts here because you kind of got to learn the characters and the setting and a little bit of the plot. And then you get to the exciting point, and then you roll back down to the ending. So that's kind of what you need to think about the climax. So I kind of think of the climax of the story as when the tiger was released, and also just kind of waiting to see what was going to happen, like up until the moment that the tiger gets shot. All right, number 7, describe your feelings about this novel. What was one thing that you really enjoyed, and one thing that you think the author might could improve on. So you can be honest. Tell if you liked the story, if you didn't, maybe something that you did enjoy, maybe something you think could have been better, maybe it didn't end the way you thought it was going to end. So just for a minute, let's wrap up about the story. I think Rob in the story learns that happiness, and I know a lot of y'all think, oh, they ended up boyfriend and girlfriend. No, they did not end up boyfriend and girlfriend. Kind of one of the big major themes in the story is also about friendship. It's about feelings and emotions, but it's about friendship. And I think that he learns that happiness is like sharing your feelings with a friend and being able to talk with a friend and having a good friend and just basically appreciating all the good things in his life. Because you notice at the end of the story, it started just like the beginning. He's in his bed or in his motel room and he sees the Kentucky star sign. But in the beginning, it was raining. And in the end, the sun pokes through. Because he is so appreciating what he has in life and that he has a good friend. I hope you guys have enjoyed the Tiger Rising.